بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Arabic Torture. So, Mariam, assalamu alaikum. You're terrible at that shot. You just crunched up a paper, tried to throw it in the trash, and missed several times. Several times. Move in closer. Move in closer. I don't know why this is here. I printed this for myself. This is not for you yet. This is not your ship. This is my ship. Okay. You're not captain. I'm captain. This is crazy stuff. Right here.
It's like cursive.
This is surf for people who know surf already.
We don't know surf.
You're mashallah, you're very far. You're very, very far. And there's ways to go, but inshallah, where you guys have come so far is pretty amazing, actually. So what I want to start with today is to introduce you to our workbook. The workbook is now available on the study materials website. Many of you have already printed it. If you have not printed it, I would recommend that you do so, because I'm going to be making use of it over the next couple of days to help us build our understanding of sarf recognition. Okay, so recognition is done in steps, and I want you to get kind of comfortable with each step. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to try to recognize past tenses and past passives. Okay, so let me start with an overview so that you guys get that. We memorized huwa nasara. I'm not going to write the huwa part, but you can help me say it so that I can write all of them. Huwa nasara. Nasara.
Hum nasaru.
Good.
Hiya nasarat. Humna nasarata. Hunna
Nasarata. Good. Hunna.
Nasarna.
Good.
Anta nasarta.
Good.
Antuma nasartuma.
Excellent. Nasartuma. Antum.
Nasartum.
Mariam, finish the rest. I don't know what you just said, but it was probably a zinger.
No, she just said you're going too fast.
Oh.
You're saying it really fast.
Tease, like Urdu speak. Okay. Auntie?
Anti nasarti. Antuma nasartuma.
Tease Mary.
He said that so good too. Antonna nasaratonna.
Aista Mary. I don't know how to say.
Oh, you said it right. You said it right.
What? Nasartonna. Nasartu. Good job. Nasarna. Okay. Let's go over the meanings. Nasara, he helped. Nasara, huma, nasara, both of them helped. Nasaru, they helped. Nasarat, she helped. Nasarata, both of them ladies helped. Nasarna, y'all ladies helped. Then all of them are yous. Nasarta, you helped. Nasartuma, both of you helped. Nasartum, all of you helped. Nasarti, the feminine you helped. Yushi helped, yes, Yushimitsu. And Nasartuma, both of you helped. And Nasartunna, y'all ladies helped. Nasartu and Nasarna are, Nasartu is I helped, and Nasarna is we helped. Yeah? Now, let's try this one. Nusira. Nusira means he was helped. The way we do the rest of the chart is the same as we did before, except we just make sure that the first part doesn't sound like nasa, it sounds like nusi. That's all. Okay, so huwa nusira huma.
Nusira.
Right, and we're gonna tag team. So you did huma nusira, so she's gonna do what?
Huma.
Huwa huma.
Hum nusira.
Nusiru. Good.
Hiya nusirat.
Yeah.
You left the alif off on huma.
Huh?
The alif on huma.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Hiya nusirat.
Good. Nusirat.
That was a hard ta.
Nusira.
No,
Rata. Nusirata. Hunna.
Nasar.
No, that was the song that was the last chart.
Hunna nusirna.
Good. Nusirna. And once you figure out nusirna, the rest of them have already been solved. Because you're just going to copy that nusir part and use it everywhere else.
Yeah.
Right? So, anta.
Anta nusirta.
That's right. Antuma.
Antuma nusirta.
Antuma nusir.
نصرتما.
Oh, Mariam on the correction today. Wow. She's
She got
dropping
lucky.
it.
It's a lucky
Yeah,
day. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Maybe because she's getting a present on the 18th. It's like fire. Put a fire in her soul. She's like,
She's excited.
she's excited. She's rising from the ashes like a phoenix.
That. You guys had to remind me. I forgot about it.
Okay. نصرتم أنتن.
Antum.
Oh no, antum. Sorry.
Antum nusirtum.
Excellent. نصرتم.
Anti nusirti.
نصرتي. Yeah. أنتما.
Oh, antuma nusirtuma.
Good job. نصرتما.
Antunna nusirtunna.
Right. نصرتن. Good. أنا
Ana nusirtu.
نصرت.
Nahnu nusirna.
Good job. نصرنا. Okay, let's go over the meanings of these guys, okay?
Yeah, take it.
So this one doesn't mean he helped. When you hear the u and the e sound on the past tense, that
Yeah.
means it's passive,
Mhm.
meaning the inside pronoun is not the doer. The
Yeah.
inside pronoun is the done to.
Mhm.
The way what that means practically, nusira, instead of meaning nusira meaning he helped, that would be wrong. It would be he was helped.
Yeah.
So that he is not the helper, he's the one getting
Help.
the help. Okay.
Too.
It's almost like the detail became the doer in a weird sort of way. Okay. So he was helped. What does nusira mean?
He was.
No. Huwa nusira, huma nusira.
Both of them helped.
Both of them, no, were helped.
Oh,
Both of them
Were
were helped. Nusiru,
They were helped.
they were helped. Maryam nusirat,
She was helped.
good. Nusirata,
Both of them ladies were helped.
both of them ladies were helped.
Yeah.
Now it's a big difference from nasarata, because in nasarata, both of them ladies helped.
Helped, yeah.
But now nusirata, both of them ladies were helped.
Yeah.
Nusirna,
Sir. Oh, it's my turn?
yeah.
Oh, so that one was them both them ladies.
No, them ladies.
Wait, which one are we on? Are we on the last
The
one?
one that's the one been
yeah.
highlighted.
Them ladies were helped.
Them ladies were helped. Nusirta,
You were helped.
you were helped.
Both of you were
Nusirtuma,
helped.
both of you were helped. Nusirtum,
They were helped.
no.
Oh, you were helped.
You-
all of you were helped.
Yes, that's right. Nusirti,
Nusirti, she was helped.
yes, you were helped, girl.
Yeah.
Both of you,
women were helped.
both of you, she women were helped. Nusirtunda,
Oh, my turn?
Uh-huh.
I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. I have short-term memory loss. Nusirtunna is all you Yushi women's.
all you Yushi women's was helped.
Was helped, yeah.
Yeah, Nusirtu,
All you.
I were helped.
I was helped.
Yes,
We're helped.
I was. Yes, you was. Yes, you was.
We were helped.
Nusirna,
We
we were helped.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the passive. Now,
Mhm.
in all of them, what's the same? Like, okay, I'm going to make this small so you can see the whole mess, but what's the same between these all and these all? What's the same? The endings,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
The meanings are different, not because of the endings. The endings have been the same.
Yeah.
What's different is the sounds before that.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, the sounds could be anything,
Mhm.
and that's a normal word. But the moment you hear the sounds oo and e,
Mhm.
this only works for what tense? Past tense,
Passive.
right? Then you can say that it's passive.
Mhm.
Now, our job is to look at two things.
Mhm.
When we're looking at a past tense, we got to look at two things.
Yeah.
Is it active or passive?
Mhm.
That's the first thing we're going to look at. Is it
Yeah.
active or
Passive.
passive? And you don't have to worry about active. You only have to worry about passive.
Mhm.
And how do you tell if something is passive? It's got the oo and the e sound.
Yeah.
The oo and the e sound,
Mm-hmm.
right? So does the beginning part of the word have an oo and e sound? That would make it a passive.
Yeah.
Again, I remind you, what does that work for? Does that work for all the words or only the past tense?
Passive.
Only the past tense. So the
Mhm.
first thing, remember what we did? Is this an ism? Is this a past tense? Is this a present tense? Is
Mhm.
this a command? Remember we did
Yeah.
that for? Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
Mhm.
If you figure out that it's past tense,
Mhm.
then you got to ask the next question. What's the next question? Is it active or passive? Okay.
Mhm.
So if I'm showing you the thought process, the first thing was, is it a past tense?
Mhm.
Well, maybe you found out that it's a past tense.
Yeah.
If yes, is it active or passive?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it active or passive? And how do you answer that question? You don't check for active. You only check for what? Passive.
Passive.
Check for passive. And how do you check for passive? U sound,
or E.
U plus
E.
E sound, U plus E sounds
Mhm.
before the ending.
Yeah.
Now, what do I mean before the ending? Well, notice the ending is over here. Ra, ra, ru, rat, rata, na, ta, tuma, tum, ti. The ending's not telling me anything.
Yeah.
The ending's just telling me which pronoun to translate.
Mhm.
But it's before the ending I hear nusi, 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 and so I say ui
Yeah.
before the ending. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you find that, then it's passive. If you don't find that, then it's active. That's the first thing we're going to answer. The first question, obviously, we're only doing past tense recognition
Mhm.
today. So that's already assumed. Okay, it's a past tense. But now the question you're going to learn to ask yourself is it active or passive?
Mhm.
And then once you find out whether it's active or passive, then the next question you're also going to ask yourself is, what family does it come from?
Yeah.
What family does it come from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, how do we answer that question? The way we answer that question is take it back to the hua,
Version.
the hua active version. Not the hua passive version, but the hua active version. Meaning
Mhm.
the very beginning, every family that you started, every family that you memorized,
Yeah.
you said, when you say, like, how do you say the Aslama family? What's the first word you say in the Aslama family?
Aslama.
Aslama. What's the first word you say in Allama family?
Allama.
Allama. What's the first word you say in Jahada family?
Jahada.
All those first words are the hua active version.
Yeah.
So when I say hua active version, I mean the first word in every family.
Oh, okay.
So if you find a word, you got to take it back to that hua version. Then you can see who it matches.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put this into practice a little bit. Now, this is our recognition workbook. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't have it printed, that's okay. You can just look at the screen and follow along. Okay.
I have it printed.
Okay.
You want me to pull it up?
Yeah. Let me bring yours tomorrow. Okay. It's okay if you don't have it today. It's fine.
I printed it out for you too.
Did you?
I
Was
gave
it like
you.
2 weeks ago or like a week ago?
It was way back. It was farther than a week ago. It was
Okay.
Like
I
probably
listened to far.
Aqaba. Actually, before I do that, tell me one thing, Mariam. What's like the best thing about Ahmed?
I have a lot of attributes.
No way, I didn't ask you.
Let me, I gotta think for a moment.
Oh my God, that's that hard of a question, huh?
No.
If I said what's the worst thing about Ahmed?
Okay, what is it?
Wow, immediate answers.
It's here.
Words are just coming out. What's the best thing about Ahmed? I'll give you 10 seconds. 9. 8.
I like his hair.
Okay.
She doesn't love me, guys.
No, I like his hair. Look, it's so spiky. It's soft too.
Okay. What's the best thing about Mariam? 10,
the best
9.
thing about her.
8, 7,
I give you
6,
food, Farah.
5. Don't tell him. Don't feed him answers. They have to come from him.
Okay.
Let me start over the clock because she messed up.
Okay.
10,
Uh,
9, 8, 7.
She's not that
6.
annoying.
That's not the best thing about her. Try harder.
She does everything with me. She's my best friend.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay,
I still like the hair.
try this exercise at home. Ask your kids what the best thing is about their sibling, and watch them struggle. Best thing. Watch the faces. Actually, record the faces.
Send it to us.
Because she said best thing.
Wait, which page?
That was
is
the
it?
hardest question I've ever asked. Other than, forget the Arabic.
Can you stick?
No, what
Okay.
page is that?
Don't worry about the page. Look at the screen now. What's the word? Say it. Mariam, you say it first.
Aqaba.
Good. Ahmed, you say it.
Aqaba.
Okay. Now, it's a past tense. I've already told you that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to know, is it active or passive? That first question was, is it active or passive? How do we answer that question?
U or E.
Right. U or E before the,
Ending sound.
so we don't care about the ba.
Yeah.
We care about everything that happens before the ba.
Yes.
Got it? Is this active or passive, Mariam?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, wait, active or passive?
Mm-hmm. If it was passive, you'd hear what sounds again?
Ooh,
U,
or
E. U and E.
Yeah.
U and E. Not U or E. U, E together.
Ooh, okay.
Do you hear U, E when you say aqaba?
Yes.
You heard uqiba? Or did you hear
Oh, no.
aqaba?
No, it's the other one.
Active.
Yes, it's active.
Okay. Again, what am I trying to do? I say the word out loud. Say the word out loud, Maryam.
عقب.
Okay, now say عُقِّبَ.
عقب.
If I said عُقِّبَ, I said عُقِّ, U-E. That would have been passive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so this is active.
Active,
All right. So now I answered the first question: is it active or passive? I'm done with that. Now I gotta find out what family it is.
Yeah.
In order to tell what family it is, I gotta take it back to the what version? The hua version.
Mm-hmm.
Aqaba ends with what sound?
Ba.
Ba.
The a sound, right? The ba sound.
Yeah.
That's already the hua version
Yeah.
because we hua nasa ra.
Ra.
So it's already the hua version.
Mhm.
Okay. Since it's the hua version, aqaba,
Mm-hmm.
what is the family that it comes from? Is it now this is how do we answer the what family does it come from? First you take it back to the hua version,
Yeah.
then you see what it rhymes with perfectly. Rhymes with perfectly means not just the ending matches,
Mm-hmm.
the whole word matches. It's a perfect rhyme. So we have the word aqaba, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got the family nasara, fataha, daraba, sami'a, hasiba, karuma,
Well, you can already eliminate.
aslama. Yeah, but I'm making it painfully obvious so that when it get to harder questions, you know what to do. Allama, jahada, تعلم, تساءل, اقترب, انقلب, استغفر. Those are my families. What does aqaba sound like? Does it sound like good? You're getting faster at that now. Allah. So it's the allama family, and that's why, just like I did, allama yu'allimu ta'liman. Try to do this with me. Allama yu'allimu ta'liman fahuwa mu'allimun. Ullima yu'allamu ta'liman fahuwa mu'allamun. Al-amru minhu 'allim. وَالنَّهْيُ عَنْهُ لَا تُعَلِّمْ وَالظَّرْفُ مِنْهُ مُعَلَّمٌ. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm able to do this now because I matched it to the allama family. I will say, try to do this with me. Now I'll go slow. عَقَّبَ يُعَقِّبُ تَعْقِيبًا فَهُوَ مُعَقِّبٌ. Let's start over. Let's get it better at it. عَقَّبَ يُعَقِّبُ تَعْقِيبًا فَهُوَ مُعَقِّبٌ. عُقِّبَ يُعَقَّبُ تَعْقِيبًا فَهُوَ مُعَقَّبٌ. معقب, it's a hard word. Yes. الأمر منه عقب. Not علم. عقب. Keep your eyes on this and use your memory, okay? الأمر منه عقب والنهي عنه لا تعقب. Remember لا تعلم?
Yeah.
So it's going to be لا تعقب والظرف منه معقب. Okay? So every time you saw Ain Lam Mim, you replaced it with Ain Qaf Ba. That's what you did. Okay. So that's how we solve the first question, Aqaba. And Jadala. First question. What was the first question? There's two main questions.
Is it active or passive?
Good.
It's
Well,
it's
is it active or passive?
active.
Maryam, what's your vote?
Active.
Are you sure? What two sounds should be there if I will accuse it of being passive?
Or E.
No, not A or E, no.
U or
Yes, U or.
U
Not
or-
U or. U and E.
U and E.
Is there an U and E? In the word Jadala, do you hear U E?
Did you check?
No, look at him. Stop messing with her.
I'm not.
No, there's not an U and E.
No, it would have been Judila.
Yeah.
That maybe would have been passive. And of course, when I say UI, I'm skipping the last letter. Remember?
Yeah.
So I didn't hear one in this part. Okay. So Jadala is not passive.
Yeah.
Good. Now I want to know what family does it belong to. I wrote them very quick. Good job. Jahada, and I'm gonna write it above. Jadala,
Yeah.
Sha'ara, Qatala, Hawara. Those are all Jahada family.
Yeah.
Fa'ala, right?
Yeah.
They belong to the Jahada family. If it does belong to the Jahada family, now you remember the Jahada Yujahidu? Okay, let's do Jahada Yujahidu without looking at Jadala. Just Jahada. Jahada Yujahidu يجاهد يجاهد
Hidu.
جاهد يجاهد جهادا ومجاهدة فهو مجاهد جوهد يجاهد جهادا ومجاهدة فهو مجاهد الأمر منه جاهد والنهي عنه لا تجاهد والظرف منه مجاهد. Because we know that, we know this. Now you're going to stare at this and do it. Your eyes cannot go anywhere else. Okay? Jahada family. Jadala yuja. Oh, your eyes went somewhere else. Jadala yujadil. Oh, your eyes went somewhere else. Mario, I'm keeping an eye on your eyes. Jadala yujadilu. Jadala yujadilu jidalan. جدالا ومجادلة مجادلة فهو مجادل جودل يجادل جدالا فهو مجادلة هو sorry no I messed up جدالا ومجادلة فهو مجادل الأمر منه جادل نجادل جادل والنهي عنه لا تجادل. Okay, we're gonna start over. It's not الأمر منه جاهد, remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't جاهد. So start over. جادل يجادل جدالا ومجادلة فهو مجادل. مجادل.
I thought we were starting from the
No, we're starting from the first line. Let's go again.
Okay.
جادل يجادل جدالا ومجادلة فهو مجادل جودل يجادل جدالا ومجادلة فهو مجادل. Good. مجادل. الأمر منه جادل. Good job. والنهي عنه لا
تجادل
والظرف منه
مجادل.
مجادل. Not bad. Not bad at all. Very good.
This my turn?
Sure.
Oh.
Question?
No, this one's not.
Another question. I was gonna say, if you want more of a mix, because these are all
Many
gonna
of them
be.
are hua, right?
What's up?
Many of them are hua only.
All of them are hua here. Page 2 is a mix between active and passive.
Oh, okay.
So it
But
like
they're
ramps
still
up
all hua?
difficulty as we keep going on.
Yeah, you know what? It's good to have progressive levels of difficulty. It's okay. We can stick with the simple for now.
Okay.
And get the most out of these. Let's juice them for what we have.
Istaqbala.
Yeah, istaqbala. First question. What's the first question?
Is it active or passive?
Good. Well, since you answered that already, why don't you help me answer it? Is it active or passive?
E and
Well, what sounds do I want for passive?
For passive, you want or E?
Mm-mm.
And E?
We're doing the guessing game. Okay.
What did you say?
I thought I knew the answer.
Yes, you did. You said and E the last time too, and I said and you went back to your old and E answer. You need to get rid of that and E answer and say U and E.
Ooh and E.
Ooh E.
Ooh E.
Ooh E.
Ooh E. It's not passive.
It's not passive.
Yeah.
If it was passive, it would have been ustuqbila. Ooh E. Ustuqbila. Okay. So istaqbala is not passive. Okay, fine. Now I got to take it back to the hua version. Well, what a surprise. On this exercise, everything's already the hua version.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to do too much work on that one. Now it's time to match it to a family. Istaqbala. Huh?
Istaqbala.
Allah.
Because I showed you the answer.
No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did. I literally was like, sorry, but that's the answer.
You're such a liar, honestly. You have the whole paper out. Like, obviously, you're gonna get it before me. I'm using my brain.
Okay, go easy on your best friend. Now, istaqbala. Sarf of istaqbala. You already know istaghfara. So we won't do istaghfara. We'll pretend istaghfara is istaqbala and do it.
استقبل يستقبل استقبالا فهو مستقبل استقبل يستقبل استقبالا فهو مستقبل الأمر منه استقبل
No.
استقبل
Yes.
والظرف من والنهي عنه
والظرف عنه. Oh, sorry. والنهي عنه.
لا تستقبل
Wonderful.
والظرف منه مستقبل.
Brilliant. مستقبل. Not مستقبل. Don't.
Oh, balon, yeah.
مستقبل.
Yeah, sorry.
Excellent.
I'm getting better at it.
Yes. Both of you are, mashallah. Okay. أقتل. Active or passive?
Passive. Active.
Active?
It's active.
Active is not an option.
It's active.
Yes.
It's active.
Now, Mariam, there's a harder question for you now. Let's see if you can handle this one. If it was passive, what would it have been? If it was... what two sounds do I want before the...
U, E.
So?
Ok. Tili.
T, but the ending stays the same.
Oh, uqtila.
Yes. Yes. Uqtila. Brilliant. Okay. Now we know it's active. Great. What family does it come from?
Aslama.
Excellent. Now finish it. Don't look down. Let me help you.
Aqtala.
She's trying to finesse.
Yuqtalu.
Aslama.
Yuslimu.
So.
Yuqtalu.
Yuslimu, right? Yuslimu. Yuklimu.
Yuqtala.
Okay, now watch this. Aslama. Aqtala. Yuslimu. Yuqtilu. Islaman. Iqtalan. Aqtala yuqtilu iqtalan fahuwa muqtilun. Try that.
Aqtala yuqtilu iqtaran fahuwa muqtarun.
Muqtilun.
Muqtilun.
Like Muslimun.
Muslimun muqtilun, yeah.
It's just gonna rhyme with those words.
Yeah.
You're overthinking it. Remember yesterday I said just make it rhyme and don't think of piece by piece. You're still going back to try to fit every piece. Just look at the whole thing as one.
Yeah.
Muslimun muqtilun. Okay? It was uslima, right?
Yeah.
Now make this word sound like it rhymes with uslima.
Uqtila.
Yeah, that's it. Yuslamu. Make this word sound like it rhymes with yuq. You're adding a ya.
Oh, okay. Yuqtala.
Yuqta.
Lu.
Yeah. Start over. Aqtala.
Yuqtalu.
No. Start over from the top. Aqtala. Like
Yaqtalu?
aslama. No. Aqtala yuqtilu iqtalan fahuwa muqtilun. Listen to me now carefully.
Okay.
Aqtala look at it and do it.
Oh.
Don't look down. Aqtala yuqtilu iqtalan fahuwa muqtilun. Uqtila yuqtalu iqtalan fahuwa muqtalun. Al-amru minhu aqtil. والنهي عنه لا تقتل والظرف منه مقتل. Now you can do it.
Aqtala.
Yes.
Yuqtala. Yuqtila.
Yuqti.
Lu. La.
Right, because you said yuslimu, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
okay.
it's
Uqtilu.
yuqtilu.
Oh, yuqtilu.
Mm-hmm.
Aqtala yuqtilu iqtiran.
Iqtalan.
Iqtalan fahuwa muqtilun.
Right. Now the second line was uslima yuslamu islaman fahuwa muslamun. You're just going to make it rhyme with that.
Uqtila.
Yes, perfect.
Yuqtalu.
Yes,
Iqtalan
perfect.
fahuwa muqtalan.
Muqtalun.
Lun. Oh, lun.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, al-amru minhu.
الأمر منه أقتل.
Aq.
أقتل.
Excellent. You solved it yourself. That's what I want. That's super.
والنهي عنه لا
What was it?
هذا right?
Yeah, what is it? Al-amru minhu aslim wa nahyu anhu la.
تسلم.
So,
تقتل.
la tuq.
لا تقتل.
Wait,
لا تقتل.
wait.
تل.
What's the word originally? La tus.
لا تس. Or
Al-nahyu anhu la
تسلم.
tuslim. lim.
لم
So la
لا 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 لا
tuq.
لا تقتل
That's it.
والظرف منه مقتل.
Excellent. Excellent. You're getting better and better.
Each day.
Number 8.
goes by.
تذكر.
تذكر. It's active
Why?
because it doesn't have oo or
If it was passive, what would it have been?
تذكري.
تذكي.
Kira.
Yes, you don't mess with the ending.
Yeah.
تذكر would have been. That's very good. Okay. If it is active, what family does it belong to?
تذكر.
I think it's the Nasara family.
تذكر.
I'll write it here.
Which family?
تذكر is clearly the Nasara family.
No. تذكر.
جاهد.
لا
جاهد.
تعلم. Yes, تعلم.
اقترب.
تعلم.
تساءل.
تعلم.
استغفر.
تعلم.
تعلم. Okay, if you say so. Well, if it is.
تذكر يتذكر تذكيرا.
تعلم يتعلم
تعلما.
then تعلما. تعلما. Thank you, Mariam.
تذكرا فهو متذكر.
Not to make the key too long. متذكر.
متذكر. And then what else is there? And then after that it is
تذكيرة.
no wait. Which family is this?
تعلم.
تعلم.
Oh, you told me. I'm just going by what you said.
تذكر.
Yes. Close.
تذكر.
Yes.
تذكر يتذكر تذكرا فهو متذكر.
Yes.
الأمر منه تذكر.
No. This is
تذكر.
no.
تذكر.
تعلم. Is that what you memorized? تعلم.
Nah. So that one would be which one would it be? Hold on. Gotta use full brain power.
الأمر منه تعلم يتعلم تعلما فهو متعلم تعلم يتعلم تعلما فهو متعلم الأمر منه
تعلم.
These were
تعلم.
wait no guessing games. The Amr in the تساءل and تعلم family have fathas. تعلم تساءل.
Yeah.
So الأمر منه تعلم not تعلم.
Oh yeah. تعلم. تذكر.
That's right. الأمر منه تذكر والنهي عنه
والنهي عنه لا تتذكر.
لا تتذكر.
والظرف منه متذكر.
Good. Very good. إن فعل.
Ooh, I already know it.
Is this active or passive? First question is always first.
It's active.
It's active, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You see, when we do Nahu, we ask different questions.
Mm-hmm.
When we do Sarf, we ask different questions. So
Yeah.
sometimes when we're studying Quran, we look at the same words,
Mm-hmm.
then we look at them from Sarf glasses. We put Sarf glasses on and ask ourselves Sarf questions
Yeah.
and get those answers. Then we put the Nahu glasses on and look at the same thing and get the Nahu answers, right?
Yeah.
So Nahu and Sarf are two. Is it Mudaf, Mudaf ilayh? Is it the doer? Is it the detail? Those are Nahu questions.
Mm-hmm.
What family is it? Is it active or passive? That's all the Sarf questions, right?
Yeah.
So we got to learn to ask both of those kinds of questions because both of them go together to come up to for us to come up with the meanings of things in the Quran. So in fa'ala, we're asking ourselves the Sarf questions right now. It is active because the passive actually doesn't even exist because there's no such thing as unfu'ila. And I'm giving away the fact that in fa'ala is like the inqalaba family,
Mm-hmm.
right? The in gave it away, really. The in
Yeah.
gave it away.
I knew it immediately.
Yeah, so alhamdulillah, you're starting to recognize that. And on that note, before I do more practice, I want to show you something. That's a student sent me a question, Jawad. I sent it to you, but I'm remembering it, so I'm just going to bring it up. A student said, Ustad, I don't understand the difference between this and this.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
This and this. So,
Yeah.
so I wanted to, now that we're doing Sarf,
Mhm.
I know it's a challenge for some of you that read the Taj Company print of the Quran. Let's see if I can find a website that has the Taj Company.
What's that company?
It's like this company. They have a certain way of
I look at my
showing the
The only ones that we
What does
have,
it say? Maswak tajweed. Okay.
we only have the ones
Oh wow,
that are
they're actually selling the. Okay. Is there any website that has it? These are apps. Maybe the Google image. Yeah, that's okay. We can use that. Okay.
no copyright, guys.
So you see that this is a copy, or I can't even zoom in on this. You're not gonna let me zoom in?
Oh yeah, it doesn't let you zoom in.
That's crazy.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
Okay. So you notice how they put alif like that,
Mhm.
right? And then look at iyaka. They have an alif like that. There's no hamza.
Yeah.
And then an'amta, there's no hamza.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the people who read this script, many of you do, they don't distinguish between the alif and the hamza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you have a sort of a tougher job
Yeah.
figuring this out. But if I'm going to show you a different website, let's go to Quran.com. Okay, and we'll open up Fatiha again. Bro, it's Fatiha, not Baqarah. Why are you taking so long to load? For reals? Oh my God, it's tiny.
In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful.
Okay, so it says Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, yeah?
Mhm. Yeah.
And Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Now notice Iyaka. Let's pay attention to Iyaka.
Mhm.
Did they put a Hamza underneath?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Taj Company print, they didn't put a Hamza underneath,
Mhm.
right? Now, I am teaching Arabic grammar and Arabic script based on the Uthmani and the Arabic standard. The Arabic standard is like if you read an Arabic newspaper or book or whatever,
Mhm.
they have a separation between when they write the Hamza and when they don't write the Hamza, which is the same as the Uthmani script of the Quran.
Mhm.
The Taj Company print, which is made easier for people from South Asia,
Mhm.
Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, for those folks to read the Quran easier, they developed a thicker font kind of a script.
Yeah.
And they, even if you go to like the Haram, if you go to Umrah or like you visit Medina, they'll have the green mushaf and they'll have the blue mushaf.
Oh yeah.
And the blue ones are going to be for people that read that script,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Because they're used to reading that. So they printed it for their ease also. But what I'm teaching you grammar wise is the official script kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the official script is, the Hamza is different from the Alif.
Mhm.
So I want to show you where the Hamza is used in grammar and where the Alif is used. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, the word al, which means the,
Mhm.
will never have a Hamza.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first one. Then, and so first we're going to talk about when does it not have a Hamza. So the first one, it doesn't have a Hamza when it's al.
Yeah.
When it's the iqtaraba family and the istaghfara family and it's the inqalaba family, right?
Mhm.
You're not going to see a Hamza.
Yeah.
It doesn't occur there. Okay. When you see an alif for a command like unsur,
Mhm.
then you're not going to see a Hamza.
Yeah.
Or isma. Like when you take any of the 6 small families and you make a command out of them, you're not going to see a Hamza. Okay. So this is where mostly you're not going to see a Hamza. You're just going to see an alif.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have the ability to write doohickeys. What they do to is little thingy majig on top. It's not a dhamma, it's not a Hamza, it's a thingy majig.
Yeah.
You ever seen a thingy majig?
Mhm.
I don't know if I can show it to you. Maybe I can actually. Let me just put it here. I'll insert an ayah from Quran script and see if we can find a thingamajig. It's bound to be here somewhere.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. See, this alif has a thingamajig.
Mhm.
Okay. That's their way of saying that this does not have a Hamza. And that's their way of saying that when you don't have a Hamza in any, by the way, when you don't have a Hamza in a family or al or a command, same thing. What's the same thing? If there was a haraka before it,
Yeah.
then you get to skip over it and it doesn't have any rights and you go straight to the lam. So you say ayatul kitabi,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And the same way if I said, you have to say istaghfara
Yeah.
is a family, right? Istaghfara.
Yeah.
But if I said wa before it and then I said istaghfara,
Yeah.
well, technically, even if I wrote the e, doesn't matter because the alif does not have a hamza, therefore it has no rights. So if there was a sound before it, we're gonna forget that the alif had any sound, and we're gonna say wastaghfara.
Okay.
Okay, so even though officially we say inqalaba, iqtaraba, right?
Yeah.
We just say istaghfara. Now we saw ittakhadhu in the ayah. Let me actually show you what happened in the ayah, because somebody asked me this question too about the alif.
What surah was it? Was
63. Munafiqun,
Oh.
ayah number 2. And you're going to see thingamajig on top,
Yeah.
right? Now the thingamajig on top does not have a haraka.
Yeah.
So why did I read it ittakhadhu? Now if I open this in the Taj company print, they would actually have a kasra on it. So they would read it ittakhadhu. But because of the expected knowledge of sarf, you know that this came from the iqtaraba family.
Yeah.
It matched close enough to what? The iqtaraba family. And it's huwa iqtaraba, huma iqtaraba, hum iqtarabu. So because it's matching from that, the alif, you don't have to write the e to know, because it's from the iqtaraba family, it will have an e.
Yeah.
So it's ittakhadhu. That's why it's ittakhadhu.
Yeah.
Okay. So our knowledge of grammar and our knowledge of family sarf actually helps us figure out those kinds of sounds. Okay. So that's the alifs without a hamza on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the alifs that do have a hamza on them?
Yeah.
They are either the aslama family,
Yeah.
the past tense of aslama. It can also be the command of aslama. A lot of people are confused, and we've answered this several times, but the question keeps getting emailed and keep coming up. Ustad, you said when you have a command, you had a process. Let's go over that process. Let's look at these words so you can understand something about commands. We'll look at tasma'u and tansuru. Tasma'u means you hear, and tansuru means you help. If I wanted to turn these into a command, first I would turn them into their lightest version.
Yeah.
What is the lightest version of tasma'u and tansuru?
Tansur.
Good.
And
Tansur
tasma.
and
Tasma.
tasma. Then I would get rid of the ta. That would be step 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got rid of the ta, and then I got rid of the ta. Great. Then I decide whether I can read it or not. Can I? Sma' nusur?
Yeah.
Not really. So then they need help. Okay. And make sure that alif does not have a what? Hamza.
Hamza. Yeah.
Look up here. The alif without a hamza belongs in this category.
Yeah.
So you don't get to have a hamza on it.
Yeah.
All right. What sound should I put on it? Well, if it's got an oo,
You give it an oo.
then you go oo. By the way, officially considered the oo on the ain letter, the middle letter.
Oh, okay.
And this one, you have to put an e.
Yeah.
Because if it's an oo, you put an oo. Anything else, you put an e.
Yeah.
But when it came to the aslama family, we said al-amru minhu
Aslam.
aslim. We put an a.
Yeah.
So students say, Ustad, you taught us that you have to put oo and e, now you're putting a.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's the Aslama family, and the Aslama family does some crazy things. For example, Aslama is the only family in which you make a command with an alif that still has a hamza. No other family lets you make a command with a hamza on it. Then Aslama is the only family that says, not only do I want a command with hamza, I'm going to get a fatha on my command.
Yeah.
All other commands in Arabic are either u or e. If you add an alif, it's going to be u or e.
Yeah.
Unless it's from the Aslama family, then it's going to be aslim, amin, ashrik, ab'id, okay, absir, etc. So that's going to have the hamza on it. You will also see hamza in the present tense. So if I say huwa yansuru, right?
Yeah.
Now let me walk you through this. Huwa yansuru, huma yansurani, hum yansuruna, hiya tansuru, huma tansurani, hunna yansurna, anta tansuru, antuma tansurani, antum tansuruna, anti tansurina, antuma tansurani, antunna tansurna, ana ansuru. Ana ansuru. The ana version of the present tense also has a hamza.
Yeah.
Or remember we did yuslimu, aslama yuslimu, right? The ana version is uslimu. You'll see a hamza there.
Yeah.
Okay, because the present tense has to have a hamza. It has to have it. You can't write an alif for ana. You have to write the hamza. The pronoun ana has a hamza on it.
Yeah.
Right? Words that actually the hamza is part of that word, like iyaka. Iyaka has a Hamza on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or akala is a word in Arabic. Akala, like nasara, is a word.
Yeah.
And the Hamza is part of that word. You have to have the Hamza on it.
Yeah.
So when you see a Hamza, it's basically either the Aslama family, or it's a present tense, or it's part of the word.
Yeah.
It's basically part of the word. And these alifs are part of the family, or al, or the extra alif added from a command. Those are the variations of alif that you see in Quran script. Okay.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the Uthmani, the one that I keep teaching you from, like this one.
Like the Medina one? Like,
Yeah, like the Medina one. You can call it the Medina one. The green, not the blue.
Yeah.
Even though I memorized like a lot from the blue first. Yeah. But good thing I'm analog, not digital. So.
That's funny.
Oh no, that's my notes. You can't see those. Okay.
You can't see your notes?
No, those are like Islamic. You can't. You're crazy. A'lana. A'lana. It's definitely not passive. I'll walk you through this one.
Yeah.
It's definitely not passive because it's not u'lina.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's solved.
Yeah.
It's the huwa version. It ends with a.
Yeah.
Okay. Ustad, why isn't it the hunna version? Because nasarna ends with na.
Yeah.
Here's why, student. Because nasarna has to have a sukoon followed by na. Nasar na. No, keep reading the comments, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. Fill your get your fill.
It's the Aslama family said.
Okay. Now,
Congratulate me.
just to get it out of their system. Everybody say hello, Mariam. Just write hello, Mariam. No, do it. Everybody. The whole ummah. Just say hello, Mariam. Watch. It's gonna happen.
Yourself.
I believe in the internet. I believe
Hello,
in it.
Mariam.
Oh, Josiah, I've dropped one. Oh, the internet's slow.
Oh, you gotta press new comments.
Well, they're like,
Oh, someone said it.
oh, Mariam, how are you? It's starting. Hello. Hi, Mariam. Hello, Mariam. Hello, Mariam.
I've never so.
Oh, hello. Hi, internet. Okay. Now back to this. Okay, back to Arabic, everybody. Baskaro Mariam. Okay. A'lana. Why isn't it the hunna version? Because nasar na is nasar, quiet, and then na. A'lana, the la is still making noise.
Yeah.
That's why it cannot be nasar na. Okay, and then somebody said, hello, Mariam, we love you. Wow, we've got fans, Mariam. You are famous. That's what it says. You are famous. Ah, salam, Mariam. Mariam is the sweetest. Wow, cute, Mariam. Okay. Take it down a notch. We are proud of you, Mariam. Hello, Mariam. With 85 M's. Okay, now, A'lana is what family?
Aslama.
Yes, Aslama family. Easy giveaway.
yu'linu.
A'lana yu'linu. Try to do it with me if you can. A'lana yu'linu i'lanan fahuwa mu'linun. U'lina yu'lanu i'lanan fahuwa mu'lanun. Al-amru minhu a'lin. A'lin. والنهي عنه لا تعلن والظرف منه معلن. Okay. اقترب. Oh my God, اقترب. What family is it? اقترب family. More power to you, Mariam. Hello, ya Ahmed. Oh, somebody felt bad for you. They're like, hey, you exist too.
Yeah, I exist.
Alif Fatha and Alif with Hamza Fatha. No, there's no Alif with Fatha. That's the other thing. Oh, I should have added that. So that Alif conversation I was having with you, I don't know what I did with it. I destroyed it, I think.
It no longer exists. I'm terrible with computers.
I had a teacher who had the funniest way of, like he was an Arab teacher, and he said some things in English that don't make any sense in English, but they totally make sense in Arabic.
Arabic is so funny when they try to speak English.
Yeah.
They don't know English.
So he had and they have these things they say over and over, right? And I loved it because it was so adorable.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Is it exist? It is exist. It is exist." Like he would say that all the time.
Yeah.
Is it exist? it is exist.
What did
So,
you mean by that?
I still don't know. And then I had a boss who was so mean.
Uh-huh.
I used to be terrified of him, right?
Yeah.
I used to work at this immigration office, and this is like Pakistani immigration office in Brooklyn. It was crazy. It was a crazy place. People used to come there to get their passport photos taken and like fill out their immigration forms or whatever.
Mhm.
And there was this like business where all these Pakistanis used to come because these guys, they don't speak English, so they come to this place because everybody speaks Urdu and they can help them fill out their forms and
Yeah.
stuff. And my boss is a really mean Pakistani guy. He was super mean.
Used to slap
Wow,
you.
oh my God, he had one of those mean mustaches. He would do this when he's angry. Like he would like, so I just started praying at the time, right? I need to distract you from Arabic for a second. So I just started praying at the time. So I used to go upstairs and go make salah, and I would sometimes take 5-7 minutes. And he's like, he had a problem with me going to pray because he just thought I was taking too long to pray. So he would call me into the office. I'm super scared, and he wants to lecture me about it, but he wants to lecture me about it in English, right? But his English is horrendous. So he wants to scold me, and he's saying the most hilarious things, and I have to be afraid, but also hold in my laughter because. And his favorite thing to say was, and I still use it in my class. Actually, he used to say, "So you're taking the 10-minute. What's that means? What's that means? Tell me what's that means." But I'm just like, holy. I don't know what that means. But anyway, years later, when I started teaching students full time, because teaching students is a form of getting away with torture.
Yeah.
Right? I get to torture you guys and not have any consequences.
Yeah.
So I made my students say, if you ever have a question about what you don't understand, there's only one way you can ask me. You have to ask me, Ustad, what does that? No. Say, what's that means, Ustad? And you have to say it with a lisp. What's that means? Say it. Now you say it.
What's that mean?
No, not that. Make it strong. What's that means?
What that means?
Better. It's better. You gotta work on your what's.
What?
That
What?
was a dying frog. That was a dying frog. Mariam, what's that means? Do it.
What?
Yes, very good.
That's
What's that means?
what that means.
Yes. If you don't understand something, I need to hear.
What that means?
Yeah, I was teaching, and those of you that are watching that are from Jakarta, when I was in Indonesia teaching this class, it was a 10-day intensive. A couple of thousand of you were in the auditorium. I was teaching the first intensive in Jakarta to like a couple of, and I made everybody say, "What's that means, Ustad? What's that?" And 2,000 people in chorus, like a choir, said, "What's that means?" And then a bunch of them actually even made me a T-shirt. What's that means?
Really?
I have a "What's that means" T-shirt. I'm gonna dig it up and wear it tomorrow for you guys. I totally will. Okay. But anyway, back to the alif.
Yeah, you should make that a T-shirt, Ustad.
It is already made a T-shirt.
No, like you should make.
But you know, merch.
Yeah.
Okay. This one in actual Arabic can have harakas.
Yeah.
And if you want to put an E on it, with the Hamza on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, is it exist? It does not exist. It does not exist in the Arabic. Okay.
Yes.
This happens in Pakistani script, in Taj Company script. This is not a real thing.
Yeah.
This is not a thing in Arabic. In Osmani script, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
So if you see a haraka on it,
Yeah.
then it's probably a representation of this.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the Taj Company script, if you see an alif and it actually has this on it, other than if it's from the E families, then this is probably an actual Hamza. So they will say, for example, they will say the word iyaka,
Yeah.
which is incorrect officially. You're supposed to say what?
Yeah.
Iyaka. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be written. So I hope that helps. But I'm still confused. Well, then there's a fax number for the Saudi embassy in the description below. Okay,
You should actually put it.
I don't have it.
You know?
The Saudi embassy is going to wage a complaint against me. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, take your first break. we've done enough of practice, and inshallah we'll come back and try a different kind of practice.
Miriam bolted. She said, "I'm
I
done."
was like, I'm so done. I'm out. Jawad, you can take. Actually, I'll take a few questions, and you can take over.
Stay hydrated, guys. Helps you learn.
Does it change the meanings? No, doctor, it doesn't.
Oh, we have a doctor in the house.
I know he calls himself one.
Imagine he actually has a doctor associate's degree or whatever it's called.
What else you got?
I feel like it's not right. If you became a doctor, you'd be like a funny doctor.
A lot of people would die. So, but banner missing. Okay, Bruce.
Oh, is that Bruce Banner?
No, the banner for the class is missing. I forgot about that. Let's see. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Poster. Yeah, Jawad. What happened to the poster, Jawad?
I have it narrowed down to a few really good ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to share some of them tomorrow. I want to print them.
Okay, I'll forward them to you.
How do we Arabify our keyboard? Go to language settings in Windows and add a keyboard under language settings. And you can. My recommendation is to add Saudi 101 because there's a bunch of Arabic keyboards you can get. Saudi 101 is pretty standard. You need Bayina merch? Okay, come in. I actually made a T-shirt. I want to show it to you. No, I don't want to show it to you. Then somebody will screenshot it and steal my idea. No, I want to show it to you. Let's just say it involves a panda.
You know, actually, you said, like 4 or 5 years ago, I picked up what stats means. I've been saying it for years.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
See, this is a counterculture we're creating. Seriously. People say weird things like we're like best friends. We're like mudaf ilay, right? Lame.
So I'm glad to finally have the origin story.
Yeah, this is the origin story. Man, I hope he's not watching. You're like, what is that? Where's the deeper look tafsir of Surah Al-Hujurat? It should be there. If it's not, I'll double check why it's not there.
If you're talking about on the website, it's definitely there. It's just not called the deeper look into Surah Munafiqun. Oh, are they talking about the document?
Hujurat.
Oh, Surah Hujurat. Okay, never mind. That's something else.
So the deeper look is not there in the section? Munafiqun is not there in the deeper look section?
I don't know what you're referencing.
The tafsir lectures on Surah
Oh,
Munafiqun.
okay. I have no idea about that.
Okay. Can we use, what is this question? Can we use what? I keep missing it. And then there's, I'm your big fan from something came up. Can we use both names of the families using fa'ala? Like if ta'ala, iqtaraba, aslama, fa'ala? Well, if you can, then more power to you. Great. Okay. What this person, Aisha, you always ask why not jar majroor? What are you talking about? Can you tell the meanings of these words as well? No, I can't, because that's not your concern right now. Doesn't help you right now. Microsoft Word, there's an app, you can just Google it, Quran in MS Word plugin, and you can find it. No, Amra. Every question. Sorry, I guess nobody has questions right now, so we're good. I'm not getting any. Are you getting on the Bayna website side?
Somebody's asking, in what situation is the Hamza written on alif, waw, and ya?
You'll see that in spelling structures later on. It's just a getting used to kind of thing. And Quranic script is probably the biggest answer key for that. So you'll just take note of when it's being used, and you'll get accustomed to it being used like that. Teaching that as a formula is just cumbersome, because I'm not teaching you composition anyway. In your mind, what you should think of the alif, ya, and so these letters for you, given our purpose, this, and this are all the same thing. They are just this. Those are just chairs that the Hamza is sitting on, but they don't have any value in and of themselves as far as the sound or the meaning is concerned. It's an actual Hamza. It's just what chair it's sitting on. That's all.
How to tell the difference between if a word falls into iqtaraba or inqalaba?
Well, let's take the worst case scenario for that question. You have a word like intashara. Okay, that's a real word, intashara. Now, this is confusing because it looks perfectly like iqtaraba and it looks perfectly like inqalaba. Why does it look perfectly like both of them? Because it starts with in and then 3 letters, which is inqalaba, right? And then it has a sukoon followed by tashara, which is the same as sukoon followed by taraba. So it could be this one and it could be this one, right? Let me tell you the rule. If it's got a ta in there, it's iqtaraba. If it's got a ta, it's iqtaraba. And if it doesn't have a ta, and it definitely has an in, because inqalaba has to have in anyway. The noon is part of the shape. It's not part of the 3-letter roots. If it has an in, and it doesn't have a ta, then it's inqalaba. So if I say inkasara, or the Quran says إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ, which is infatara, right? Or inqalaba is used in the Quran, and in bajasa is used. In bajasa. In intaqama, no, yeah, intaqama is a good example. Intaqama. Based on what I just said, intaqama would not be the inqalaba family. You know why? It's got a ta in it. That's why it's the iqtaraba family. So the only time these two can be confused with each other is if you got an in, but it's still the iqtaraba family. And the only way to solve that confusion is if that happens, the ta will give away that it's the iqtaraba family.
Somebody's asking about in the first ayah of Surah Munafiqun, when we talked about the lam of emphasis in the transcript.
Yeah.
We mentioned that the lam of emphasis is not strong enough to make an independent pronoun attached, and that confused some people.
Okay, so the lam of emphasis, this is the lam, it's called lam al-tawqid, and it's called lam al-qasam also. Lam al-qasam. Basically, this is a lam that means I swear by or truly, right? And it has no grammatical bearing. What that means is it doesn't force anything to rafa, nasab, and jar. So here's how it works. This lam, by the way, can occur on a harf. So lafi khusr, okay? Lamin ahli kitab, etc. Okay? لكن الظالمون لفي ضلال مبين, or إنه في الآخرة لمن الصالحين, لمن الصالحين. So clearly it's a harf that can even sit on top of a harf, no problem. You can have, for example, لقالوا. So قالوا is they said, لقالوا they truly said, or I swear they said. Okay, so lam can sit on even a past tense. You can have la yasjununnahu, which is a complex present tense. We haven't done those yet, but it's on a present tense. So lam can sit on a present tense too. Then it can sit on an ism. So you can say la amruka. This is in the Quran. La amru. It's not a harf of jar. It's a la. This one's always a la, by the way. And it can also have la anta, or inna lanahnu al-ghalibun, or la huwa. Okay. Now in these cases, nahnu is still the independent pronoun. We didn't use na. The attached version is na. But lam does not have any grammatical effect on nahnu. We still use the independent version. And this will still be considered the independent pronoun. It will not be considered an attached pronoun. The lam is not strong enough to make it into an attached pronoun. Even though in script it's written attached, it's just emphasizing that pronoun. It's not making it an attached pronoun. The attached pronoun of these three versions would have been laka, lana, and lahu. That didn't happen. That's what I mean by that. Can it sit at an amr? It doesn't make sense at an amr, on an amr. Can it and doesn't make sense is two different things, right? We're only looking at language where it makes sense. I can't think of a case where it sits on a fi'l amr. Maybe there is one, but I doesn't make sense to me at this time, nor can I imagine a case. What is the family of istabara iqtaraba? The ta became ta. In more complex stuff, you'll learn why. Okay, take your 5 minutes break.
thing.
Good thing the mic was off. The conversation we were having. All right, we're back. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I want to do a little bit of recognition of past tense sarf from Surah Al-Munafiqun now.
Okay.
So we're going to pull up the entire surah, and I'm just going to highlight a bunch of words in it, okay? And then we'll talk about Quran a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we have had a Quran conversation.
Yep. And
I don't know.
'cause, you know, I was thinking about what I want to teach you guys and you guys. And I keep saying I don't just want to teach you Arabic, I want to teach you Quran too. So in my mind, I'm starting to kind of craft a Quran curriculum for you. You know, if I had all the time in the world to teach somebody what I would like to teach them about the Quran, where would I begin? What steps would I take, etc. Right? So I'm thinking about your Arabic, and I'm also thinking about your Quran, because it's happened to me so many times. I you know, when I called it the Dream Program, I should have called it the Unfulfilled Dream Program, because I had a lot of students who studied with me, spent 1,000 hours with me studying Arabic, and you know, being able to read tafsir and things like that. But then I didn't give them the tools. I gave them the tools to study the Quran, but I didn't teach them Quran itself. Right? I figured they have lectures and stuff. They can just go on their own kind of thing. But that's not what I want to do with you guys. I actually want to teach you the method by which I study the Quran. And to get you there, I want to have you familiarized with different kinds of reading that are not related to Arabic. They're related to Quran study.
Yeah.
So now that you're about 80 hours in, I think more than 80 hours, 60 hours in the first two intensives, 20 in the second one. So that would be 80 hours.
Yeah.
This is going to make it 100 hours, right? So now that we're at 100 hours, I think that our class sessions, they're going to be probably an hour of Arabic study and half an hour of some kind of Quran study. Okay. So, and the first thing I'm going to do is kind of have you learn about different subjects related to the Quran before we actually go into Quran itself. But really interesting, cool, important things that I want you to be familiar with, resources I want you to be familiar with, articles, papers, that I think they'll enhance your knowledge of the Quran and the way you think about it. And then as you're learning the language, it'll help you even more, right? So some of the coolest stuff that I came across in my journey, I'm going to make it part of your journey. Okay, so the difference is when you guys hear me give a lecture about the Quran, all of that stuff is my reading. And I'm presenting what that's all in the background, and all you see is the final product, right? But I want to take you into the background. I want to take you to what readings am I engaged in? What are we, what am I going through? What are some of these things that I read maybe many, many years ago that I want you to read too? And then we can discuss those little by little. Okay. So I won't test you on that stuff, but I think it'll really enrich your education in this study.
Yeah, Al-Imran, that should have helped out a lot, because whenever I went for Umrah, you had like a specific like couple days with Uhud. It helped me, like, because we went there, right? If I hadn't known about that, I just it's like a little
yeah, we spent a lot of time on Uhud. We had that whole story night on Uhud, remember?
Yeah. It helped like my education.
Were you at that Uhud story night?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So that helps. So inshallah, even with this surah, I'm having you go through the lecture, but inshallah, eventually, it's not just the reading of tafasir. That's part of the goal too, but then there are other readings that I want you to even start doing from now. Inshallah. And there are some books in Urdu, some in Arabic, some even in some articles in English. And I'm going to give you guys some things to read and think about, because I don't just want to expand your knowledge. I want you to expand your thinking as you're growing, inshallah. Anyway, so I'm going to highlight some words. So I'm going to go with, let me get my highlighter. And I'll just use the highlighter.
The rocks on Uhud, they're so sharp.
Yeah. What's left of Uhud?
Yeah. I almost cut myself, I think.
اتخذوا صدوا ساء كانوا آمنوا كفروا طبع رأيت why won't it scroll? Where is my mouse? Okay. قاتل قيل لووا رأيت Oh, this is a hard one. أستغفرت. That's gonna be fun. رجعنا رزقناكم أخرتني
I think there was an amanu that you missed.
آمنوا جاء أجلها. Okay. All right. I'm going to walk you through this and then I'm going to make you do some work too. Okay. Ja'a, so I've only highlighted the past tenses, so I don't have to worry about is this past tense, ism, present tense, command. I've already solved that problem for you. Everything that's been below highlighted is past tense. Okay. Now, Ja'a is the huwa version. How do I know that? It ends with the a.
Yeah.
Qalu is the hum version because it ends with u.
Yeah.
So huwa qala, huma qala, hum qalu, right? Ittakhadhu ends with u, so that's the hum version. Saddu is the hum version. Sa'a, you help me. Sa'a is the what version?
Huwa version.
The huwa version. Kanu is the
Hum.
hum version. Amanu is the hum version. Kafaru is the
Hum.
yes. Tubi'a is the
Huwa.
huwa version. Ra'ayta. Ra'ayta.
Oh, that's the huwa.
Anta version. Good.
Oh.
Anta. Sukun followed by ta is always anta.
Anta, yeah.
Okay. Anta version. Then qatalahum. Of course, the attached pronoun is to be ignored. So qatala is left. What version is that? The huwa version. Qila. Huwa version.
Yeah.
The version, right? Huwa version. I don't know what ha was. Law is new for you. So I'll break the mystery for you. You know how he said huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru?
Yeah.
So the hum version ends with u.
Yeah.
Some hum versions also end with aw. Not just u, but also what? Oh, and the easy way to remember that is Surah Al-Asr. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا not u, but aw. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Some special verbs, some special fi'l, they don't end with u, they end with aw, means the same thing. It means they. Why does that happen? That's advanced sarf, and you will be learning it. You better believe it, but this is not the time. But anyway, law is going to be they. Okay. Ra'ayta, hum, the hum will be ignored. We learned that before. What's left? Ra'ayta. No, this is not the huwa version. You got that right that time. He got that right this time, which is the same question, which is weird.
Yeah.
So ra'ayta is sukun followed by ta, which means it's the anta version. Is astaghfarta anta version.
Yeah.
Good. And then
So much words.
raja'na.
The na version.
What's that?
Nahu.
Nahnu.
Nahnu, yeah.
You said nahl. I don't know what that was, but yes, nahnu. I'll accept that as the
I said nahu.
nahnu.
That's that na.
Yeah.
Yeah, na is nahnu, and you know that. You
This
know
is
that.
hum.
You know
Yeah.
it.
This is hum.
Home. You use the distraction. Razaqnakum. What's to be ignored?
And
The
the cum.
What's left?
Nah.
Na.
Which is the
Nahnu.
nahnu version. Very good.
Exactly.
Akhartani. This is tough. What's to
Oh,
be ignored?
The
Ana.
The knee is ignored. What's left?
Anta.
Akharta.
Ta.
So
Ta.
It's anta.
anta. Anta akharta. Forget about ajalu, but ja'a,
Oh, the huwa.
the huwa version. Okay, so at least we know that they're past tenses and how the endings are, right? Now let's go through the whole list again and see if it's active or passive.
Okay.
Okay. Ja'a. What sounds am I looking for if it's passive?
U or E.
Right. U and E.
U and E.
I don't even want to say
Yeah.
U or E. I don't want to say U and E. I just want to say U E.
U E.
I want to hear U E.
U E.
Do you hear U E in Ja'a?
No.
Do you hear U E in Qala?
No.
Do you hear U E in Ittakhadha? What about Sadda? What about Sa'a?
Mm-mm.
What about Kana?
Mm-mm.
What about Amana?
Mm-mm.
What about Kafara?
Mm-mm.
What about Fatubi'a?
Yes.
Fa means so. We've done that a bajillion
Yeah.
times. Tubi'a U'i,
Mm-hmm.
that's passive.
Yeah.
Okay. Ra'aita
No.
U'i,
Mm-mm.
Qatala
Mm-mm.
Qila.
Mm-mm.
This one's actually pretty cool. It's actually passive, and this is a crazy passive.
Oh.
The crazy passives are, we call them advanced passive, but I call them crazy passives.
Yeah.
It was going to be Quwila,
Uila.
Quwila, and the Arab said, that's just lame.
Mm.
Just don't make it Quwila. Just make it Quyila. And then they said, that's even more lame. So forget the Ku. Just make it what?
Qila.
Qila. And so that's how Quwila became Qila.
Okay.
That's just to make it cooler sounding. It's actually Quwila officially, but the Arabs thousands of years ago said, we don't care about no official. Pass me the chicken. It's Qila.
Qila.
Okay, so cool. So that's how Qila happened.
They had chicken at the barbecue?
Oh yeah, they had chicken. Yeah, and fox. I don't know. Lawahu.
Well, yeah.
Remember, u and au is they, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
But you said yeah.
I didn't want.
Ra'aita.
No.
No, no ui. Astaghfarta.
No.
Yes. I was testing you.
She's.
Oh, the evilness with the cute smile, like I was testing you. I want your destruction. Like it's Raja'na.
No.
No, no. Amanu.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay. No.
I see this double team.
Yeah, I was that's what I've heard.
Ah.
Razaqnakum. Clearly, no.
No.
No. You're right. No. Right.
Yeah. No.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay. Akharta.
No.
No.
I see this double team. I'm making trade. If I might have to.
Ja'a.
No.
No. Okay. Good. So we now most of them are passive. Tubi'a was passive. Everything
Yeah.
else was active. Okay.
You know, you could make your life easier and just like press that and just go up all the way.
I could, but this just feels like an old person thing to do. Like, and then a young person's like, "What are you doing? Just do it faster." And I was like, "La la 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 la
So
la."
not hurt your finger after a while.
No, I got the time.
Finger exercise.
What's the matter? You don't like it?
We're still, 1,000 years later, we're still good.
Okay, now let's talk about them families. We already did the active passive thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the families. Ja'a. How many letters do you see?
I see 3.
Yeah.
I see 3. Jim, Alif, and Hamza.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 3-letter family.
Yeah.
It's got to be what? A 3-letter
3-letter
family. So aslama, allama, jahada,
8 big families are out.
they're gone. So this can only be nasara, daraba, fataha, sami'a, hasiba, or karuma.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones. I can't tell which one because it doesn't even sound like any of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's weird.
Mm.
Weird sarf is a different chapter.
Okay.
Some words belong in weird sarf. Why? I get close enough to say it's a 3-letter family, but I don't get an exact match.
Mhm.
That means something weird is going on,
Yeah.
right? And that's weird sarf.
Mhm.
Weird sarf is a big study in Arabic,
Yeah.
and you're not going to do that yet
Okay.
because I care about your life. So we're not doing weird sarf yet. Weird sarf is when people start questioning the purpose of their own existence. Because, yeah. So if I, for example, gave you the sarf of this, it would be ja'a yaji'u maji'an fahuwa ja'in, ji'a yuja'u maji'an fahuwa maji'un, al-amru minhu ji' wa-nahyu anhu la taji' wa-dharfu minhu majatun. Yeah, it's not fun. But that's later. That's why it's weird. Qala is also weird because it's qalu, but I said take it back to the huwa version
Yeah,
first, right? If you want to
qala.
figure out the family,
Mhm.
Mariam, you are zoned out into the table's black paint, and I want you back into my universe. Are you back in my universe?
Yes.
Okay. Qalu is they said. I want the he said, so I take it
Qala.
back to qala.
Yeah.
Well, now it's the huwa version. It's again 3 letters like ja'a,
Mhm.
right? But I mean, what am I going to do with it? It doesn't match nasara or daraba or fataha perfectly.
Mhm.
So it's a weird sarf word.
Okay.
Weird sarf is later on. This weirdness where the middle part is weird. Like
Yeah.
the beginning is kind of familiar, the end is kind of familiar, but the middle part is kind of weird.
Mhm.
It's called ajwaf. That's a because for each weirdness they have a name.
Yeah.
So this weird one is called ajwaf. We'll learn about that later.
Isn't this
But-
technically 4 letters or something? Because qaf, lam, lam.
No,
Wow.
qaf alif lam. No, good question. Let me show you why it's not. That's not true, and let me show you why not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if I say qala,
Mhm.
huwa qala, huma qala, hum
Qalu.
qalu, the waw and alif don't count as part of my count
Oh,
because once you get rid of that and go back to the huwa version, then you
Mhm.
count the letters.
Yeah.
So how many letters is that? Just 3.
3.
Qaf, alif, and lam.
Mhm.
That's why it's a 3-letter family.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, makes sense.
So now, qala, the sarf, again, I'm not telling you that you have to know this yet, but qala yaqulu qawlan wa qilan wa qalan wa maqalan wa maqalatan fahuwa qailun qila yuqalu qawlan wa qilan wa maqilan wa qalan wa maqulatan fahuwa maqulun al-amru minhu qul wa nahyu anhu la taqul wa dharfu minhu maqalun wa maqalatun. Yeah.
It's like 25.
And I think it's maqilun also would be a dharf. But yeah. And then there's like والمبالغة منه قوال and you know والآلة منه مقيال
They just never
or
ends.
مقوال, you know, yeah. And
Never ends.
مقالة or مقيالة is weird. Again, weird.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, but who cares? You don't have to deal with that yet
Yeah.
because that's just weird.
Mhm.
Okay. But at least we know it's a 3-letter family.
Yeah.
That's good enough. Let's see. اتخذوا we did before, so we're not doing that yet. Saddu, again, a different kind of weirdness. So the thing is, the Quran is not gonna tell you, oh, this surah is only for people who've done up to 8 families of sarf and none weirdness. And therefore, let's have a surah that doesn't have any weirdness in it. Ustad, why can't the whole surah have the basics? Because the Quran wasn't revealed conform to your curricular journey, right? So it's using all of Arabic. So it's gonna have the complications that you're not ready for yet.
Mhm.
But it's good to know that it's there.
Yeah.
So saddu
Mhm.
is they.
Yeah.
How did I get the they from? Where did I get the they from?
The do.
The do part. So if I wanted to make it the huwa version, because
Mhm.
if you want to tell sarf, you got to go back to the huwa version.
Sadda.
Sadda. Sadda.
Oh, sadda. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. The
Sadda.
past extra.
So again, sarf you don't know because you're not used to seeing a shadda in a 3-letter. It's 3 letters, sadda, sad, dal, dal.
Mhm.
So it's not a big family. It's a small family, but it's just not enough for you to tell which family yet.
Mhm.
Sadda yasuddu saddan wa sududan fahuwa saddun. Sudda yusaddu sududan wa saddan fahuwa masdudun. Al-amru minhu sudda suddi wa usdud. والنهي عنه لا تصد لا تصدي لا تصدد. والظرف منه مصد ومصد ومصدة. Yeah.
It's a
You
lot
don't
of
know
words.
what, yeah, it's a lot of words. But that's weird stuff for you.
Yeah.
You got to get weird with it.
Mhm.
So
You gotta lose a lot.
it's
of
what it's
friends.
you know it's so painful to
Mhm.
first come across it like it hurts,
Yeah.
but later you feel like you have a superpower. Watch what
Mhm.
I can do. I can
Yeah.
do qala yaqulu qawlan, bro. I
Yeah.
can do sadda yasuddu sududan. So cool.
Mhm.
Okay, sa'a.
Sa'a. 3-letter words.
The other word.
So
Sound rhymes with the word we just did.
Sa'a. Sadudan.
No. Rhymes with the word we just did in the surah. Ida
Ida ja.
ja'a sa'a.
Oh yeah. Ida ja'a.
Was ja'a weird?
Yeah.
Yes.
So sa'a is weird.
Mm.
Okay. Kanu.
Kanu.
What version is that? The huwa huma hum hiya
Hum.
huma hunna?
The Hoa.
This is the huwa version?
Oh no, it's the hum.
Yes. What would be the huwa version?
The Hoa version Kana.
Kana. Just like qala.
Yeah.
So it's also weird.
Mm.
Kana yakunu kaunan fahuwa ka'inun. You don't do the passive of it. Al-amru minhu kun wa nahyu anhu la takun wa dharfu minhu makanun wa makanatun.
Mm. It's not as weird.
It's not as weird, yeah.
It's like kind of. It's not like that. It's like that one kid. You know, he's pretty chill with everybody, but then like
But then his weird comes out.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's chill majority of the
That was
time.
me.
That was you.
That was totally me. Amanu. You ever been bullied in school?
No,
You-
never.
really?
No.
I've been bullied.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I got
can
beat up.
Believe me.
I got beat up
Yeah.
good.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You got jumped before?
Not jumped. I got like my arm almost torn off.
Really? How? You got
It was in Saudi. I was at school, and I was
Oh.
like, it's a traumatic experience, man. Because I don't know why they have recess with the 3rd graders and the 8th graders at the same time. They're like 8 times your size.
Uh-huh.
Like they belong in like a penitentiary or something. They don't belong in the same playground.
Uh-huh.
So I'm drinking water from the fountain, and this kid's like, "Move! I got to drink." I was like, "I wasn't finished," and he pushes me.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "No, but I want to finish." He goes, "Oh yeah," and he just grabs my arm and he pushes my head down and goes, "You still want to drink? You still want to drink?"
That's the most that he could have broke your arm.
He could have broken my arm. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, it's because he was
Loosen me up
though.
though. It was good for my. Okay. Well, and you know what? It was an Islamic school,
Oh.
right? So we have to pray Dhuhr together,
Uh-huh.
right? So and so happened by the qadr of Allah that I'm praying in the same row as this guy, right? Like I'm like I never have to see him again.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, you know,
Uh-huh.
and so Assalamu alaikum. We finished the prayer. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And our eyes meet,
Uh-huh.
and he goes. So it's like when you say salam, you're supposed to say salam to the angel, not the devil. So, but anyway, huwa amana, huma amanahum.
Amanu.
This one's tough, but I want to show you this because it's such a common word in the Quran. So you should know something about it. Okay, so this is the huwa version would be amana.
Mhm.
Let me write it a different way. Amana.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm writing it like that.
Yeah.
Amana, like that. Okay. Now, when I write it like that, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's 4 letters.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mhm.
It's 4 letters and it begins with Hamza.
Yeah.
Because it's 4 letters and begins with Hamza,
Mhm.
this is actually considered part of the Aslama family.
Oh.
Okay?
Mhm.
And it was going to be mana,
Oh.
yu'minu,
Mana.
i'manan. But there were too many hiccups in that.
Mhm.
Amana yu'minu i'manan fahuwa mu'minun. So they reduced the number of hiccups.
Mhm.
And instead of saying amana, they're like, listen, there's 2 of them. Just keep one and make it longer. So what happened to amana? It became what? Amana. So it's slightly weird.
Yeah.
Okay. It's still the Aslama family. So amana yu'min. And then instead of saying i'manan, what's an easier way to say i'manan?
Mana.
Imanan.
Oh, iman. Yeah.
They replaced the Hamza with a?
E.
Yeah, just to make it cooler. So amana yu'minu imanan. فهو مؤمن أؤمن يؤمن إيمانا فهو مؤمن الأمر منه آمن
والنهي عنه
لا تؤمن لا تسلم
Yeah, لا تؤمن وظرف منه مؤمن.
مؤمن. There's a really cool place in the Quran. It says this: يا أيها الذين آمنوا 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 يا أيها الذين آمنوا آمنوا. Amin is like aslim,
Oh yeah.
the command.
Uh-huh.
So Allah says, those of you who have believed, believe the command. Aminu. And that, inshallah, when you get a little more grounded in yourself, you'll appreciate that. I had a student one time who told me that his teacher back home, he asked him, what is Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, aminu? What's the difference between amanu and aminu? I was reciting it. And he said, nafs al-shay, same thing. Look at that!
Wait, nafsi shay?
Nafs al-shay.
Nafsi shay.
Nafs al-shay means same thing.
Something.
Same thing.
Something.
Yeah, if you want to sound authentic in your Arabic, you have to say same thing.
Something.
Yeah,
Samsung?
yeah.
Like Samsung? Samsung?
Same like Samsung, yes. Same thing.
Something.
And that is what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
We say that is what I was saying.
Yeah.
If you want to speak authentically in Arabic, you have to say is I'm saying.
Something?
Is I'm saying.
It's something.
Yeah, no, you have to sing it. Is I'm saying.
It's something.
Yeah. Okay, kafaru.
Mm-hmm. Kafaru, this is the home version.
Good. Make it the huwa version.
Kafara.
Yes, kafara, which means it could sound like nasara,
Mm-hmm.
kafara. It could sound like fataha, and it could sound like daraba.
Yeah.
right?
So it's,
But I'll tell you that the present tense is yakfuru. Kafara,
Yakfuru.
yakfuru. Now you should tell me, is this daraba, is this fataha, or is this nasara?
Nasara.
Good. Nasara yansuru.
Yeah.
Solid. Nasara yansuru.
Yeah.
Kafara yakfuru. Good catch.
Yeah.
Stop it. طبع. By the way, كفر يكفر كفرا فهو كافر. كفر يكفر كفرا فهو مكفور. الأمر منه أكفر والنهي عنه لا تكفر. والظرف منه مكفر ومكفر ومكفرة. You'll do that later, inshallah. طبع. طبع. It's passive, right? We saw that it's U and E.
No, sorry. Oh yeah, it is. It's passive.
It's passive. It's totally passive. So I'll tell you the active version. طبع.
Taba'a.
طبع. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now tell me, طبع, could it be a big family? طبع?
No.
Two little letters.
Yeah.
So which families could طبع be?
Nasara.
Could?
Daraba.
ضرب.
Fataha.
That's it. Those three. طبع could be نصر, ضرب, or فتح. I'll tell you what it is. You tell me which family it is.
Okay.
طبع يطبع. طبع يطبع.
It was Nasara, Fatha, and
So how does نصر go? نصر.
Yansuru.
So is this طبع يطبع the same as نصر
No, it's
ينصر?
Nasara's out.
نصر is out. Okay. What was the second one? فتح.
فتح.
How does فتح go? Do you remember?
Fataha Yaftahu.
Right.
So Yaftahu.
That's right.
Yeah.
فتح يفتح طبع يطبع. Excellent job, both of you.
I get two, but you only got one.
Okay, yes.
You're so this rubbing my face.
So yeah, طبع يطبع.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's طبعا and طباعا.
Yeah.
And there may be some other masters too. فهو طابع طبع يطبع طبعا فهو مطبوع الأمر منه اطبع والنهي عنه لا تطبع والظرف منه مطبع ومطبع ومطبعة. رأيت. رأيت. This is a tough one, and you're not able to do this yet. I can tell you what it is, but yeah, it's the Hua version is Ra'a. It ends with an alif, which you're not used to. You're used to words ending with a fatha, but this ends with an alif, Ra'a. This is called naqis. It's another weird one. And the sarf of it, again, you're not ready for it yet, is Ra'a yara ru'yatan fahuwa ra'in. رؤيا يرى رؤية فهو مرئي الأمر منه رأ والنهي عنه لا ترى والظرف منه مرأً ومرآة. Yeah. So yeah, it's way weird. This is a really tough one. But that's way later because we get weird much later. Right now, I made you socially awkward enough. Okay. قاتلهم الله. قاتل. قاتل. It's already the Hua version.
Yeah.
What family should I match with qat? Brilliant, Mariam. My God, another one.
I got three, you got
Oh
one.
gosh, you got three. It's on a roll. Man, you know, your universe changes when you're not staring at the black part of the table. Did you notice that?
Yes.
There's a direct connection between staring at that portion of the table and the stellar just brilliance. Qila.
Qila, sorry, the Hua version.
Hua version is passive. Remember, Quwila became Qila.
Yeah.
Qala means he said. Qila means it was said.
Mm-hmm.
Qila means what? It was
Was
said.
said.
Lawo you can't handle yet, but lawo is irregular. It's weird. And again, you're not able to do it self yet. It's actually from the allama family.
Yeah.
Because of the shadda. And it's لوى يلوي تلوية فهو ملون لوي يلوى تلوية فهو ملون الأمر منه لوي والنهي عنه لا تلوي والظرف منه ملون. And yeah, no, don't do it. So don't try this at home. Okay?
Don't try this at home, guys.
Yeah, not yet. Eventually, yes, you will have to.
Does the camera look off, Stod? Looks no like.
Yeah, because they were painting this thing. Okay, this is one I really wanted your focus on. Astaghfarta. Astaghfarta. Let's figure this one out together, okay?
Yeah.
This is definitely a past tense. We already established that.
Yeah.
And the huwa version would be astaghfara. Now, that's not what we learned. We learned istaghfara. So how in the world did astaghfara happen in the Quran? Okay, that's what we're going to try to figure out. In Arabic, when I say nasara, it means what? He helped.
He helped.
Okay, what does it mean?
He
He helped. But if I say anasara, it means did he help? Okay.
Yeah.
So turns it into a what? A question.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I say daraba or darabat, she hit me. Darabatni.
He hit me.
Did she hit me?
Yes. Darabatni. I like the look you're giving him. Did she hit me?
How is this a question though? Did she
The
hit me? Yeah, I know, but like
You're sleeping, you wake up with a bruise,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, Adarabatni. Did she hit me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get abused, guys, by my sister. Just know that.
Okay. So now you have istaghfarta. You asked for forgiveness,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
To make it a question, you say istaghfarta.
Oh.
Istaghfarta. Did you ask for forgiveness, right? But what did you learn about the alif today?
The alif.
If it doesn't have a hamza on it,
Mhm.
then it basically has no rights.
Yeah.
So now you got a hamza that's mad powerful because he's got the hamza muscle, and you got the alif that's kind of scrawny,
Yeah.
that has no power. So it's as if it doesn't even exist. And what did the Arabs do? Like it doesn't even, and the script didn't even allow for its presence. Even though the Arab grammar student knows it's there, the question was too powerful to even bother with the script of it. So it became istaghfarta became astaghfarta. Did you ask forgiveness? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that's actually two words. It still matches the family if you understand that it's two words. Is that helpful? Do you guys understand how that problem got solved?
Yeah. Elbow cough. Elbow cough.
Yeah, so it's you can say it's silent and omitted. Yeah. أم لم تستغفر لهم لن يغفر الله لهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين هم الذين يقولون لا تنفقوا على من عند رسول الله حتى ينفضوا ولله خزائن السماوات. Okay, last one. رجعنا and آمنوا and رزقنا. No, there's quite a few, but we'll just do one more.
Okay.
Let's do رجعنا. So we said نحن رجعنا.
Yeah.
What's the هو version, Ahmed?
جاءنا. جاءنا.
No, look at it again. Don't look at me. The answer will come from the screen.
رجاء. رجاء.
Yes, you see what happens when you look at me and when you look at the screen?
No, I thought we don't look at
It's like a different Arabic.
رجاء.
You look at me, you're like,
Yeah.
and when you look at it, it's like raja'a.
Yeah.
Totally different.
I thought you cancel the ra.
No, what are you going to cancel the ra for?
I don't know.
Okay, so raja'a,
Mhm.
great. Well, what family could it match?
رجع. نصر.
Could match nasara.
فتح.
Fataha.
ضرب.
Okay, I'll tell you the present tense. You tell me which one it matches. Raja'a yarji'u. Raja'a yarji'u. Fataha yaftahu, right?
يا فتح يفتح. ضرب يضرب. Right?
For the Nasara?
Nasara yansuru, right?
نصر ينصر.
Raja'a yarji'u is
No.
just like nasara yansuru, right?
No.
Right?
No.
Right?
It's
Oh.
it's part of the.
It's part of the fataha
Oh,
yaftahu.
yeah.
No, it's not. I just messed you up.
It's the daraba family.
Yes. Daraba yadribu.
Yeah.
Oh.
ضرب يضرب.
Daraba.
يضرب.
Say it, Maryam. Say it. Daraba yadribu.
Daraba yadribu.
Raja'a yarji'u.
رجع راجعي.
Yarji'u. رجع يرجع رجوعا فهو راجع رجع يرجع رجوعا فهو مرجوع الأمر منه ارجع والنهي عنه ارجع sorry والنهي عنه لا ترجع والظرف منه مرجع ومرجع ومرجعة. Again, this is stuff you don't know yet because you haven't memorized the families yet, but I'm kind of showing you what's going to become more and more familiar as you go. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, inshallah, and I'm going to pick out an article for you guys to read for tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll post it on my Facebook, and maybe Jawad, you can get it from there and email it to everybody too.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Okay. I'll pick out an article, and then I want you guys to read it in addition to your stuff. I'm not giving you homework assignments yet. The only homework assignment I am giving you is to make sure that your family memorization is still on point. Don't get lazy with it.
Right.
So even the stuff you memorize, I don't want you to get rusty with it. For you, Maryam Ahmed, 33, 39, 8 families, and then by today you should know Nasara and you should know Fataha.
Fataha, yeah, Fataha.
You should so two by tomorrow. Those 2 should be perfect. Every day, just add 1. Okay, and then we'll come back and do some more recognition tomorrow. All right. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayat wa dhikr al-Hakim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. And also to you, Mom and Dad. I love you guys. I should be watching.